as we get ready for a triple header of action here at Wallace Civic Center in Fitchburg. I welcome you once again to FATV's coverage of Hockey Day in the Burg. I'm John Gugerty, joined of course by Dan Bullock. We also have Tim Foley alongside for the first of three very big games on what, Dan, is a very important day.
Indeed, a wonderful cause supporting Jake Tebow, a Fitchburg kid, had that big, has been going through so much over the last few months and whatever, but, the hockey community has come together to support him the best they can, as they always tend to, and you can see the crowd filing in. $10 at the door gets you in all three games here today. If you couldn't make the trip out here, we'll have all three games for you here as well. All
three games here on FATV. All proceeds from today's events at the Wallace Civic Center going to benefit the Tebow Family Rehabilitation Trust. Folks at home, if you would like to contribute, we strongly encourage you to do so. TBO 14, that's TBO14.fatv.org is the URL. That'll take you to the GoFundMe page for Jake. Already raised a good chunk of money, but obviously a very difficult situation and a lot of help is needed. Anything you can contribute would be very much appreciated. But of course, there would not be a fundraiser if there was not the games being played. So let's turn our attention to the ice and bring in Tim Foley. Tim, our first game on the slate today is a very big one. Fitchburg State taking on the Owls of Westfield State.
Yeah, Fitchburg coming in, winners of their last two games, picked up a big 4-0 victory against Plymouth a couple of nights ago, back on Tuesday the 18th, and then on the road getting it done in Salem with a big 6-3 victory. And so they're going to look to make it 3 straight in the new year and continue to try to stay atop the MASCAC here, currently tied with Plymouth atop the conference at 12 points right now. There's still one more game to be played between the two teams up in Hanway Rink in Plymouth later on this season, but for now, Fitchburg looking to take care of business elsewhere, where they're going to face off against this Westfield State team that they handled with a 5-2 victory earlier in the year.
And we take a look at these Owls of Westfield State, Dan. They come in with a record on the season, 7 wins, 4 losses, 2 ties. They are 2-2-2 in the MASCAC, and it's just deuces wild for the Owls, really, as they've won their last 2 games. Their last 3, actually, never mind.
And unbeaten in their last 4. Their last game back on January the 6th. They've been off for a little while. That was a 3-2 win over the Ravens of Franklin Pierce. Tristan Terrio, John Michael DiGregorio, and Corey Morris all had goals. But the Owls no longer have the services of Tristan Terrio. He's left to go pro. So that's going to be a big loss for the Owls not having him. He was one of the 2 captains for this Westfield State side. But they've been very competitive in a game between Fitchburg and Westfield, always competitive, no matter what the stakes may be.
Let's send it down to center ice for the starting lineups. It's Hockey Day in the Burg, right here on FATV. Hockey Day in the Burg continues here on FATV. You see there the man of the hour, Jake Tebow, getting ready to come out to center ice as we get the starting lineups for Westfield State. It's like Tom Skuld, Dan Long starting on defense. Starting forwards for the Owls, Justin Collins. Joseph Carbone coming out now. And Matthew Jones. That is the expected first line for Westfield State. And it will be Valtteri Valtonen in goal for the Owls. Sophomore from Helsinki, Finland, Dan.
Played for the under-20 HIFK squad. He's going to be making his 10th start of the season, 5-3-1 with a .269 goals against and a .927 save percentage.
Other side of the ice for the Falcons, it'll be Zach Cormier starting on defense. And he's joined by Brian Glover.
2 local defensemen, Cormier from Fitchburg, Glover from Baldwinville.
Anthony Seolin, one of the starting forwards.
One of the most dynamic players on this Falcon squad.
He's joined by Wyatt Wilmshurst, the junior from Messina, New York.
12 points on the year for him.
And that'll be Hunter Fortin joining him as well.
Team leading 9 goals on the campaign.
And Brian McGrath in goal for the Falcons, as expected. He's a senior from Worcester.
Perhaps the best goalie in Fitchburg State history.
And now we'll have our national anthem. It's Hockey Day in the Berg here on FATV. Hockey Day in the Berg here on FATV. Once again, I'm John Gugerty, joined by Dan Bolak and Tim Foley. And again, guys, all of today's proceedings here at the Civic Center to benefit Jake Thibault as he comes out to center ice for the ceremonial puck drop. Just an incredible day planned here.
Lots and lots of hockey planned, all to support this young man who's been through so much.
Yeah, I'm always blown away at how the hockey community in particular is able to rally around tragedies such as this and really make it such an event and make sure that those afflicted by whatever tragedy had occurred are firmly supported by their community.
Again, you saw the graphic TBO14, TBO14.fatv.org is the URL to go to. We've got Fitchburg State University in action. The Milton Academy, Jake's old team, will be our second game. And then we have Fitchburg Monty Tech in the finale here today.
The honorary puck drop. They've got Zach Cormier from Fitchburg taking the draw for the Falcons there. And the Owls captain, John Michael DiGregorio.
Couldn't have spun the puck like that if you tried.
Shows the puck is not quite a coin. It can, in fact, land on its edge. But now, getting ready for puck drop here from Fitchburg, as we were mentioning with Brian McGrath. This will be his 10th start, 6-3 record, 223 goals against, 940 save percentage. Continues to put up incredible numbers for the green and gold. Yeah,
he really does. Coming off of a victory the other day against Salem. Not his greatest performance of the season. 3 goals allowed on just 20 shots in the game for the Vikings. Nonetheless, good enough to get the victory. And of course, coming off of that huge 51 save shutout against a very talented Plymouth State team. Brian McGrath having another career season here. The senior netminder out of Worcester doing what he's done to the MASCAC over the past couple of years here.
I can tell you that the rest of the conference is going to be so happy in a couple months when they don't have to deal with him anymore.
That's certainly so, as Brian McGrath is going to look to go out on a bang here in his senior year along with the rest of these Falcons.
Fitchburg, of course, coached by Dean Fuller in his 37th season, going for win number 570 all-time. Other side of the equation for Westfield State, their head coach is Bob Mealy. You see Coach Fuller there on the left. But it is Bob Mealy, the head coach for Westfield State. 131 wins for him, and he's in his 12th year. A couple of veteran coaches.
Put it this way, Westfield has been operating their men's hockey team for the last 13 years, 12 of them with Bob Mealy, and the head coach for that one other year, Jerry Keefe, now the head coach at Northeastern.
Not a bad little promotion for him. But we are ready for hockey here at the Civic Center, and here is Tim Foley with the play-by-play.
Thanks so much, John. Fitchburg going to be in their yellow jerseys here this afternoon, skating from left to right. Westfield, their blues from right to left. The puck is dropped. Sit back and relax. It's Hockey Day in the Burg here on FATV. Westfield's able to win the opening draw. They stick it ahead. It's thrown in on McGrath, deflected off the stick of Matthew Jones. He'll cover up for no further play, just 9 seconds into the contest. Face-off going to come to the blocker side of McGrath here. Anthony Siolan, the junior out of Simsbury, able to win it back. Cormier starting on the fence, gives it up the near boards. Fortin shields it over to the point, ends up being blasted high of the net by Tom Skold out of Jarna, Sweden. Puck now thrown over the near side. Fortin scoops it up along the boards, and the Falcons now head down ice. Left ahead for Siolan, gains the blue line, a shot, save made as it now deflects off into the corner. Valtonen was able to make the save, but couldn't hold on to the rebound. Puck up at the point now. Glover throws it in, ends up going beneath the net. Puck thrown out in front by Wilmshire. Siolan can't hammer it home. Siolan does keep it in the zone, flutters it again on Valtonen. He'll blocker it aside off to the far side. Fitchburg's going to go for a change. Puck thrown up ice, trying to connect with Jones. Can't receive the up ice feed. He'll get off the ice for a change. Now Fitchburg back the other way, looking for the full length pass.
Westfield's got too many skaters.
As they do have too many skaters. It's going to be a too many men penalty here against Westfield, as we'll see who they decide to send to the box, but a flurry of changes being made by Westfield as they were trying to get the right personnel out onto the ice, and as a result, they're going to be shorthanded for the next 2 minutes. Ryan Candia going to go to the box.
Ordinarily, you see that just as guys are getting on and off the bench, maybe for a second or two, there are too many guys, but no, there were just 6 blue shirts right in front of the Westfield net for 45 seconds before anybody did anything.
For long enough, basically, yeah. It's just a matter of Fitchburg caught them out on the line change and forced them to make that error. Now, Falcons go on the power play.
This will be the first look on the man advantage here for Fitchburg. 1 minute, 7 seconds, or 3 seconds into the contest, as this is going to be cleared all the way back down ice by Westfield's Chris Sullivan. Fitchburg's power play coming out of the winter break, the best in the MASCAC, 27.9%. But since then, in the Plymouth and Salem game combined, 0 for 9. Power play percentage has dropped to 23.1%, as they have struggled to score with an extra man here in the new year. Pucks along the near side, back up now to Gene Bouthier. Tries to give it down low, looking for Zachary Diamond. Diamond now along the blue line, gives it over to Hardy atop the left circle. Tries to leave it back for Miller. Here's Diamond, walks down the left side. Back once again to Hardy. He holds on, pressured by Jones. Now right side, Kramer, a one-timer, misses wide right. Comes back to Hardy on the far side. Hardy holds on, dangles along the blue line, keeps it in. Gives it over to fellow Bill Reckon native Zachary Diamond. Turnover from Diamond, however. It's brought back out of the zone, and Josh Miller will hold on between his own hash marks. 17:45 to go in the first period. Another 46 seconds left on the too many men penalty to Westfield State. Miller leaves it back behind the net. Wilmshire tries to chase after it. Picked up here by Westfield. They'll skate out of the offensive end and throw it right back in. Joseph Carbone throwing it in there for Westfield. Falcons now look to gain up ice. Hunter Fortin with speed up the left side. Gets around the defender, loses the puck. Slapped back out of the zone. Carbone doing the deed there for Westfield. McGrath has to hold on beneath the goal line. Just 15 seconds left in the man advantage here for Fitchburg, looking to avoid going 0 for 10. Going to require a very busy up ice rush here. Here's Fortin, left side, gets around the defender, backhands it down low, picked out here by Valtonen. They'll shovel it around the glass. Fitchburg unsuccessful on their first power play of the game. Now puck out in front. Valtonen picks up a loose puck just in front of him, scoops it with the glove for no further play. 16:51 to go in the first period. Still a scoreless game.
Tim, you mentioned Fitchburg State unable to score on any of their power plays after the new year. Worth mentioning, this is the third game for Fitchburg State after the winter break, but they had a very long break, longer than usual. A couple of their games got postponed because of gestures vaguely at everything.
42 days between the 5-2 loss against New England College and the 4-0 victory against Plymouth State. That is the longest break between games over winter break on record for this Falcons program, dating back to 99-2000. Puck now back in the Fitchburg zone. Down low beneath the net of McGrath. Thrown over far side. Skating up the left side now here, picked up by Archambault. Archambault coming into tonight on a 2-game point streak. Starting to catch fire here. Halbig's shot unleashed from the right point. Valtonen slides to his left out of his crease. He'll hold on, and we'll have no further play with 16:20 to go in the first.
Yep, for Westfield State, they only had one goalie returning with experience. That was Tyler Shergrew. The other two goalies on their roster, Valtteri Valtonen and Kevin Chandler, both listed as sophomores, but this is their first year playing ice hockey with the Owls.
And Valtonen has done a great job with Westfield as Wolford throws it in. That whistle's just wide left, comes back over to Cousior along the left side. 3-0 in his last 3 games is Valtteri Valtonen. He's done an excellent job here for Westfield, as going to have a stoppage in play here. Face-off going to come outside the Westfield zone, and it looks like
I think we're going to get a penalty against the Falcons.
Adam Cousior going to go to the box for Fitchburg, so this will be the first penalty kill of the day for the Falcons.
Yep, checking from behind is the call against Cousior. He'll sit for 2 minutes for that. No, I have Westfield as having about a 16% power play. Fitchburg State about an 84% kill.
That's what I have as well. Westfield's power play just 5th in the conference, as the puck now off in the far corner. Holmes blasts it up to the point. It's too much to handle for Dan Along. Can't keep it in along the blue line. 15 seconds gone in the checking from behind penalty to Adam Cousior. Here's Hardy over the blue line, knocked off the puck, able to regather and keep it on his stick. Forehand shot from Hardy. He's able to send it on Valtonen. An impressive effort from Thomas Hardy, freshman out of Bill Recca. He's had a great season for Fitchburg, and a nice piece of penalty killing effort there on the shorthand, able to get the shot off on Valtonen.
Hardy was basically going 1-on-4, and he was still able to get a nice on-target shot.
Face-off one back by Westfield. They'll now carry out from their own end. Brought up here by Dan Long. Gangs the red line, now the blue. Right side. Tries to center it, looking for John Michael DiGregorio. Kept down low beneath the net now. Holmes punches it along, met by a Westfield stick, so no stoppage in play. Now along the far side, Dan Long holds on, back down low. Westfield patient, high in the slot, looking for a shot. More along the right circle, rather. Jason Diamond, his shot was stuffed by a Falcon defender's stick, and it's thrown all the way back down beneath the net of Valtonen. A minute to go in the penalty to Cousior. 15 minutes to go in this first period of action. It's Hockey Day in the Berg. Fitchburg and Westfield headlining the 3 games here today. Puck slapped around, goes all the way back down ice, thrown out of the zone by Egan Wolford. Westfield struggling to set up in the offensive end here. They've had a couple of good looks, but no shots really have gotten off so far, as another dump in, this time from Dawson Garcia, thrown around the right side. Now back up to the near point. Tom Skoll, a blast. That gets through traffic. McGrath makes a save. Rebound slapped over to the far side. Brought back out of the zone. Westfield can't keep it in. Skoll will have to regather for the Owls. Thrown into the offensive end now. Held onto by Joseph Carbone. Centering pass looking for Matthew Jones. Couldn't connect tape to tape. Here's Jones now far side. Gives it back up to the point. Westfield working around the offensive end, and an errant pass forces Westfield to have to get back on side as Toivo Kramer introduces Dawson Garcia to the ice. Adam Cousior out of the box. 5-on-5 hockey once again. 13:57 to go in the first period. Egan Wolford gives it up far side. Wilmshire tries a long cross ice, but good hand-eye coordination coming out from Corey Morris. Bats that puck out of midair. Now far side held onto here by Wyatt Lawrence. Tries to clear it out. Thrown right back in by Fitchburg. Anthony Ciola's the first one to it. He's pinned up against the boards by Matthew Pelletier. Pelletier able to fish it out. Now Westfield holding on. Here's Pelletier. Beneath his own net, Wilmshire's pressuring. Forced pass just ahead of the reach of a Westfield Owl. Zach Cormier not too happy, couldn't get enough on the pass there. Does find Fortin nonetheless. But centering backhander. Oh, Wyatt Wilmshire was able to get the one-timer off, but Valtonen, nice job staying square to make the save on the flutter pass one-timer from Fortin to Wilmshire. Now back beneath the net. Wilmshire's holding on in the near corner. Gives up to Diamond, a shot. That goes wide to the glove side of Valtonen. Comes over to Cormier along the far boards. Now back down low. Cullen Young here near side. Brought out by Westfield. Glove down by Hardy. He'll serve it to himself. Now centers it. Looks for Diamond. Waiting. His shot. Save made. Valtonen. Rebound loose. Diamond on the follow-up effort. Forces it into the Owls logo front the jersey of Valtonen for no further play. 12:42 to go in the first. Still scoreless here at the Wallace Civic Center.
Yep. Last time these two teams played, Zach Diamond ended up with a hat trick. Gene Bouthiet and Hunter Forden also found the back of the net in that contest. They actually chased Valtonen after one period in that game too.
Yes, Kevin Chandler ended up coming in, allowed 2 goals on 17 shots in the final 40 minutes of play. And that's a game that, while Fitchburg, as Cousior unleashes a shot, save made Valtonen, and they score! Zach Diamond doing the dirty work, gets down low to give Fitchburg the 1-0 lead with 12:28 to go in the first period.
Valtonen has had trouble, Tim, with those rebounds throughout the entire first period. We've seen a number of very juicy opportunities where the Falcons were not able to capitalize, but that time Zach Diamond was able to follow up beautifully. You take a look at it here, he just kind of pokes it right through the 5-hole. Valtonen made the initial save, but he couldn't control that rebound. Diamond was Johnny on the spot. He put it in, and Fitchburg takes a 1-0 lead.
Zach Diamond, so good for that. Player who Coach Fuller in the past has said it's great at just being in front, being in those areas out in front where goals get scored and finding a way to put them in, as he does just then. Gives Fitchburg the 1-0 lead. We'll have to see who's credited on the assist, if anybody, in just a moment. 12:15 to go in the first period. Fitchburg holding on to a 1-0 lead here about midway through the first period on Hockey Day in the Berg. There you have it, the backdoor angle on Diamond, trying to poke it past Valtonen in a very nice look.
He didn't even poke that in. Valtonen knocked it in. The puck was just sitting there, basically immobile, on the ice. Valtteri Valtonen tried to sit down on it, cover up. It was the back of his left calf that actually knocked the puck into the net.
And that can be so tricky sometimes as a goalie, where you're not sure where the puck is. You try to do everything you can to make sure it doesn't go in, and inadvertently you're the one who ends up putting it back in the net. So officially it is Diamond's first of the game, assisted by Joshua Miller. So for Diamond, that's his 6th goal of the season. For Miller, his 4th assist of the season. And Thomas Hardy gets the secondary assist, his 8th on the year. That'll put him up to 11 points. And what a line combination that's been, Hardy and Diamond. As down beneath the net, Wolford holds on here. Give it back up ice. Kramer now back over to the right wing. Shanley loses it off his stick, leaves it back behind for Matthew Jones. Puck up ahead now for Justin Collins. A shot just over the right shoulder of Brian McGrath. Now Westfield looking to center it in the offensive end. Can't get through, looking for Carbone from the corner. Kramer instead the recipient. Westfield still battling along the far side. They still hold on here, nearly an opportunity for Justin Collins. A shot and a save made by McGrath on Joseph Carbone from the left hash. Now picked up by Shanley, back the other way, left to right for Fitchburg. Holmes shovels it out along the far boards, now holds on down low. Knocked off the puck by Cullen Young, thrown over far side. Archambault holds here, tries to put it on, it's blocked, he gets it back, but sends it into the near corner. A nice flip back from Macchione, gives over to Archambault, he still holds on. Puck finally flipped out of the net by Westfield. And the defense will hold on here. 10:32 to go. Fitchburg up 1-0 over Westfield here on Hockey Day in the Berg. Centering feed no good from Fitchburg's Cookson as he tried to give it out in front for Archambault. Whipped on it. Now Westfield looking for a way out of their own end. Up the far boards. Long stretch pass all the way down ice. No icing. Fitchburg was looking for the call. Josh Miller seemed perplexed as he turned around and did not hear a whistle. Now here's McCormick, a drive off the right pad of Brian McGrath. McCormick has it once again along the near boards. Picked out down low, shoveled out by Peter Izzo. Puck goes across the offensive end. A weak flip from Fitchburg. They are finally able to get it out of the zone. Archambault was pressured as he tried to fly it out of the zone. A weak glove down by Valtonen. He'll leave it off for his defensive teammate and Andrew McCormick. Now puck centered, picked up here by Westfield in front of their own net by Spencer to Ritter. Fortin intercepts at the neutral zone, now gains steam up ice. Fortin toward the front of the net. Tries to put it on Valtonen. A couple of nice follow-up efforts by Fortin. And time again, those familiar with the Fitchburg State broadcasts already to this point, you'll know just how shifty a player Hunter Fortin is. And you saw it on display right there. A nice move into the offensive end and a couple of nice chances out in front on Valtonen.
Yeah, Fortin played for the Boston Bandits in the National Collegiate Development Conference, and anyone who comes out of the NCDC to play Division III hockey is someone you have to keep your eye on.
Playing like a bandit, no doubt. Diamond tries to win the faceoff over. Far side picked up here by Westfield, thrown out of the zone. Ratcliffe just able to squeak it out. It's actually no, kept right back in by Fitchburg. A nice glove save by Diamond. He put it off the left pad of Valtonen, got it right back, and then Valtonen flashing the leather to deny Diamond his second of the afternoon. Stops play with 9 minutes and 11 seconds to go in the first.
Really impressed with how much the Falcons have been able to pressure Valtonen. 14 saves for the sophomore netminder. They put him to work and then some in this first 11 minutes.
They truly have, as the puck is along the far side. Now Wolford throws it out. Picked up by Bergman, centering for Hardy. Back up to Glover. Cross ice. D to D. Wolford a drive. That goes off the end boards. Hops over the stick of Thomas Hardy. And then thrown out of the zone by Westfield. Now up ice. Here comes Jason Diamond with it on his backhand. Tries to put it out in front. It'll be glued to McGrath by Egan Wolford. He'll help McGrath hold on for no further play. Face off to be in the Fitchburg zone. 8:43 to go in the first. Shots right now in favor of the Falcons, 15-4. They have been commanding the pace of this game so far here this afternoon. Anthony Ciolin on the draw here. He'll draw against Justin Collins, Wilmington, Mass native. One over to the near side, now thrown back up top. As music continues to play here from the Wallace Civic Center. A drive ends up off a stick. Justin Collins, his shot was stuffed in the shooting lane. Now back up left point, a drive let fly by Tom Skold. Ended up going off the end boards, cleared up ice. Now here's Hunter Fortin on a drive down ice. Brought down from behind as Skold went over the top of Fortin and stripped him of his stick. We're going to have a holding penalty assessed to Skold as a result.
That was Fortin, you know, with all that speed. He had two defenders, one to either side, trying to split both of them. At the end of the day, Skold has to commit a foul to stop him from having a clear chance. And
we saw a very similar play as there you see Skold got his hand around the neck, almost a horse collar, or like a face mask tackle like you'd see in football almost. And we saw a similar play the other day. Fortin was streaking down ice against Plymouth, and it was another penalty, actually, another holding penalty, I want to say, as a result of the defender trying to hold back Fortin. So nonetheless, another man advantage here for the Falcons. Top power play unit of Miller, Ciolin, Bergman, Wilmshire, and Fortin out there on the ice. 13 seconds gone in the power play. Puck up into the netting, no further play.
Honestly, guys, I'm a little surprised. Skold might be a bit lucky that they didn't award a penalty shot there. Hunter Fortin had a really clear shot at goal. If there was a little bit more ice between him and Valtonen, I think it would have been a penalty shot for the Falcons.
They have been, and it's going to be a matter of time this season with the way that teams are trying to defend Hunter Fortin on these breaks that he's going to be awarded one at some point or another. So Fitchburg, as mentioned, already 0 for 1 on the power play here tonight. They do have the top unit out here. Puck's now in the offensive end. Puck's put out to Wilmshire, gets it over to Ciolin, now back up to Miller. Holds on, Fitchburg looking to set up here. Wilmshire's back up to Miller. Near side, Wilmshire walks in, knocked off his stick, but Westfield unable to get around him. Andrew McCormick poked it on for just a brief moment. Josh Miller goes into retrieve. Now here's Fortin, centering for Ciolin. His deflection goes wide right. Wyatt Wilmshire leaves it back for Bergman, who now cycles up the near half boards. Wilmshire down for Ciolin. Cross ice pass finds Fortin, back up to Miller. Holds on, his drive goes into a body out in front. Seolin shovels it over near side. Now Wilmshire centering pass to Seolin. He's met by the body of an owl as he had it on his tape. He could not get the shot off. It's cleared back down ice for Westfield. 39 seconds left in the holding penalty rather to Tom Skoll. Fitchburg out from underneath their own net. Zachary Diamond, far side, finds Thomas Hardy. Holds along the far half wall, tries to center it for Diamond, but instead met by the backhand of Joseph Corbone and thrown all the way down ice. Just 20 seconds left now in the power play here for Fitchburg. Going to look for a good up ice rush, trying to gather some momentum here out of the man advantage. Toivo Kramer now is the second power play unit on. Diamond, a blast, finds the stick of Valtonen as he deflects it off into the corner. 3 seconds left, thrown down now at the skates of Boutiette. He's knocked off the puck, Skold out of the box. Onto the ice here for Westfield. DeRitter has 5-on-5 hockey once again here from the Civic Center. 6:08 to go in the first period, 1-0 Fitchburg. Near side now, DeRitter tries to get around Glover, carries it near side, save made McGrath. Traveled with DeRitter, cross crease to deny him with the left pad. Now here's Glover, holds on underneath his own net. He'll leave it back over for Holmes. Up ice, tries to find Boutiette, hops off his tape at the far blue line, thrown back in, wrapped around, and McGrath will stop it beneath his net. Westfield hoping to get something on the board here before the horn sounds. Centering pass off of a body, trickles out of the zone. Westfield will have to regather. They re-enter now, puck thrown right on McGrath by Andrew McCormick. He'll opt to cover it for a stoppage in play with 5:28 to go in the period.
Spencer DeRitter, he's a junior from Fairport, New York, actually played for Salem State a couple of years ago, transferred from one side of the state to the other. DeRitter even had a goal against Fitchburg State last year on FETV, that last season in 2020.
Had 12 points, 6 goals, and 6 assists in 23 games played for the Vikings back in his freshman year in 2019-2020. Puck now along the near blue line in the attacking end for Westfield. It's flipped up well out of the zone. Now here comes Archambault down the right side, right into the breadbasket of Valtonen. He'll hold on. 5:09 to go in the first. Face-off going to be in the offensive end for Fitchburg.
Fitchburg just continuing to apply the pressure. You see the shots on goal, 17-6. At times that felt like a bit of a deceptive number, but in these past 5 minutes or so, the Falcons have just been flying up ice.
Face-off one back by Kramer up to Holmes, a drive. That one just snuck wide right, and it looks like it went off the top of the glove of Valtteri Valtonen and skied up into the protective netting, so we'll do it again. Draw once again on the near side. Kramer facing off against senior forward John Michael De Gregorio, playing out of Montreal, Quebec. Puck back up to the point, across the line now. How big a drive, and another quick save made by the glove of Valtonen. Another face-off coming within his own zone, this time to be to the blocker side. 5 minutes flat to go in the first period. Fitchburg leading 1-0. It's hockey day in the Burg.
Wonder when the last time would be that the Falcons had this many shots in a period, especially at this pace.
As the puck down the near side, Holmes throws it down low. The most shots Fitchburg has taken in a period so far this season is 20. That was in the second period of the Franklin Pierce game back on November the 20th of 2021. So Fitchburg a few shots off the mark. They're going to look to top that here in the next few minutes. Now comes over far side. Wolford slams it back down low. Shanley leaves it over near side now. Boutiette picks it up. Brought down low in the near corner. Battling back up out of the zone. Westfield ekes it free, and now down the right side, Jason Diamond finds some space. Tries to center it. Zach Cormier gets down and dirty. Blocks it with the body. Back up to the point. Westfield a blast from the right side. Ends up deflecting into the glass. Now held along the far boards. First one to it is De Gregorio. And a couple of players getting tied up along the far boards. Fitchburg nonetheless out of the zone. 3-on-2 down ice. Boutiette to Kramer. Walks down. Save made. Valtonen. Kramer tries to wrap it around. Out in front. Puck loose. Batted over to the boards beneath the net now. Shanley takes a big piece of contact from Chris Sullivan and then gets shoved thereafter. Now along the near boards. Westfield trying to clear it out. Not a high stick. Now down ice. A one-on-one. Paul Friss. His shot goes wide, blocker side on McGrath. Friss, 7 goals on the season, was looking for number 8 on that nice up ice rush for the Owls. Now it's along the far side. A blast goes high at McGrath's net. Cullen Young couldn't keep it down low. And down beneath the net now. Friss holds on, leaves it back beneath the net. A couple of players on each side, each battling for it. Finally picked out by Cormier, finds Fort. Cormier in his first game back for the Falcons missed a couple of games due to injury, as Valtonen will cover. Cormier, his last game played prior to today, it was back on November the 28th in the consolation game of the Stovepipe tournament against SNHU. So now 20 shots in the period. 19 officially on the live stats. That is what is archived as history, so we'll have to go by that. Now puck thrown in along the near side by Westfield. Held on to by Bergman beneath the net. Gives it over up the far side, just escapes the reach of Zach Diamond and goes all the way down, just squeaking over that goal line for an icing. It'll come all the way back down in the Fitchburg zone.
Yes, the unofficial shot tally, 19-7. Those are the stats kept by our sports information directors, Betty Ann Para and Jamie Rogers. Jim LaPointe keeping his own shots on goal on the board as the official timekeeper. But of course, sometimes there are mild disagreements.
Yes, and of course, always made difficult considering as this blast is blocked by the body of a Falcon, Reese Bergman, able to wrestle it out of the zone. He was all over the Owl trying to get it out. But of course, also our great sports information directors here at the university keeping track by player as well. Gives us so much great information, as Zach Diamond up to 6 shots. There's a great piece of data for you right there. 2:15 to go in the first period. Cross ice back in the Fitchburg zone. They'll look to head up ice. Lucior holds on. Cookson slapping the stick, looking for the pass. He's trying to follow up on a nice 2-goal performance against Plymouth the other night. Bergman holds on, down underneath the net, finds Hardy, gives it back to Bergman. Centering pass, looking for Cookson. Can't connect with his tape. Now back up ice come the Owls. Holding it down the right side. A shot goes off of the helmet, perhaps, of McGrath as he shakes it off thereafter. Puck now thrown into the body of Holmes. Bergman backhands it out of the zone. Hardy backhands it, then further, no icing. Deflected on the dump in. Minute 35 to go in the first. Puck skied well high, just short of the insulation along the ceiling here at the Wallace Civic Center. Fitchburg regathers. Here's Cookson down the right side, looking for Archambault. Cross ice now. Macchione, backhander up to Halbig. His shot almost deflects back off of Cookson, as that could have been a nice goal there for Cookson. He thought he had something there, as he is frustrated heading back to the bench. Had a nice chance at a deflection to put Fitchburg up 2-0, but couldn't capitalize.
Cookson is champing at the bit, guys. You saw him, you mentioned Tim, he was banging his stick, calling for the pass. You see him sticking his stick in anywhere he can get it. That time he wanted a penalty, as he just brushed into an Owl as he was trying to collect that centering pass. I don't think there was anything there. Good non-call by the officiating staff.
Cookson, he's had a good stretch of games recently for the Falcons, as the puck along the near side now. Cookson in his last couple of games had 2 goals against Plymouth. That is the most he's scored recently. In fact, last goal before then came against SNHU back on the 28th of November. But you want to see that from your freshman, an eagerness to get puck possession, move down ice, score more goals. 37 seconds left in the first period here. Fitchburg up 1-0. Zach Diamond, his 6th of the season. Front chance out in front for Wyatt Wilmshires, can't let it go. And then he does let one fly along the left side, sends it high up at Valtonen, who reaches up with the glove to make the stop. 26.2 to go in the first.
Yeah, just been a really good period in terms of the pressure. Live stats now have the Falcons up to 20 and 21 as well, so.
That is the most shots that Fitchburg has taken in a period all season long, usurping that 20 total they had against Franklin Pierce back on the 20th of November. Now back in the Westfield end, still Owls looking to clear, just 15 seconds left in the period here. along the defensive blue line for Westfield. They now look to attack. Held on to here, coming cross ice. It's Friss, tries to center it. Blocked by a Falcon. Bergman holds on. And the seconds will tick off as Fitchburg will take a 1-0 lead into the locker room. Zach Diamond, his 6th of the season. Joshua Miller, his 8th assist. Or his 8th point, perhaps. That's inaccurate on the stats. His 4th assist of the season. And Thomas Hardy able to record his 8th assist on the season. So that's where we stand after one. Gentlemen, your thoughts?
Yep. Really good first period there by the Falcons. 21 shots, as you said, that's their season high for shots in a period, and they've just been buzzing from the word go. I mean, even in the first few minutes, we saw the Falcons get to double-digit shots before Westfield ever really had a legitimate shot at McGrath. They were sitting on that one that was just that soft dump in 20 seconds in, basically.
And I think the Owls did have a few early scoring opportunities, but it was a little bit of sloppy play really in the first 5-6 minutes of the period that led to them not even having any shots on target. They did have some scoring opportunities, but any drives they took just went wide of the net. McGrath was really untroubled for the first few minutes, and then at the other end of the ice, the Falcons were just pouring on the pressure, pouring on the pressure. I was actually, Tim, really impressed with the play of Valtteri Valtonen. Had a little bit of trouble controlling the rebounds early on, but Fitchburg made him make a lot of very difficult saves in that first period, and he really stood up to the pressure.
Yeah, he has been playing well. I'll agree with you there, John, and a good point as well on the rebounds, but really, to no surprise, Valtonen, the reigning MassCat goalie and rookie of the week right now, had an impressive outing across his last 3 games, a 3-0-0 record against non-conference opponents in Franklin Pierce, Assumption, and Stonehill. A goals against average of 166 and a save percentage of 950 over that span. And so if you're Fitchburg, just get as many shots on net as you can, and that's what they've been doing here early in this game. And so with that, that is the first period. Fitchburg leading 1-0 over Westfield State. We'll take a break. We'll be back with second period action ahead of the puck drop. Don't go too far. You're watching Hockey Day in the Berg. It's the first of 3 games here this afternoon from the Wallace Civic Center here on FATV.
We are back here at the Wallace Civic Center. It is Hockey Day in the Berg on FATV. John Gugerty, joined by Dan Bolak and Tim Foley. We want to go and thank our underwriters before we jump into the second period of action here. Fitchburg Access Television's remote productions are underwritten by Rollstone Bank, Workers Credit Union, Unitil, Minuteman Press, the Sentinel and Enterprise, Fitchburg State University, and of course UMass Memorial Health, Health Alliance, Clinton Hospital. Thank you so much to them. You see them there on the screen. And of course, all of the festivities, all of the events here at the Civic Center today to benefit Jake Tebow. All of the games today, all of the proceeds again going to the Tebow Family Rehabilitation Trust. If you would like to donate, you can go to TBO14. That's right there on your screen. Tango Bravo Oscar 14.fatv.org, or you can scan the QR code if you prefer to do it that way. That'll take you to the GoFundMe page. All proceeds again from today's game. Any donations you can give would be greatly appreciated as we try to raise money for Jake Tebow, who of course suffered a truly horrific injury, and we're all thinking about him, and this day is all for Jake Tebow. And part of this day, the first of 3 hockey games, has been a very entertaining first period between the Owls of Westfield State and the Falcons of Fitchburg. Dan, Fitchburg State leads this one by a score of 1-0.
Indeed, Zach Diamond getting his 6th goal of the season, just helter-skelter in the paint, and Valtteri Valtonen under pressure knocked it into his own net. Diamond with the last touch, and so he's got that goal. Already 6 shots on goal for Diamond in this contest, and the freshman from Billerica, he really likes playing against this Westfield State team.
And Tim, we are going to start the second period with a penalty, it looks like.
Yeah, Hunter Fortin came in on the faceoff, and he ended up getting tripped up by Peter Izzo, sophomore out of Oakville, Ontario for Westfield. And so just 8 seconds into the period, Fitchburg's going on the man advantage here.
And that's another penalty drawn by Hunter Fortin. Westfield had to commit a penalty to stop him from getting a breakaway earlier in the first period. And so now the Falcons going on power play number 3 today. Draw to the left of Valtonen, won by the Falcons. Hunter Fortin, the left point, off for Josh Miller. Now back for Fortin. Left circle, backhanded into the corner. Now brought across into the slot, right side, one-timer, save, rebound, and another shot goes just wide in the cage. That pass to Miller goes over the blue line. Falcons will have to reset. Already 1 shot on goal in the first 30 seconds of this power play. Now Fortin, throw it around the boards to the right wing corner. Falcon tries to beat it there. We'll push it along to the left side, and they'll come back to Fortin. Fortin holding a left circle, going to the point. Switching spots with Miller, now going even further. Shot, score! Hunter Fortin with the shot there to make it 2-0. The power play strike might have even been tipped on the way, but a lot for Valtonen to deal with there.
Yeah, it looked like a set play. Reese Bergman was parked out in front. He had his stick on the ice, and Hunter Fortin, as he slinked his way through the offensive end, went over to the far dot, found the tape of Bergman, who just gave it a little tap out in front to make it 2-0 Fitchburg.
Tremendous strike there for the Falcons. Bergman gets the goal from Fortin and Wilmshurst just 54 seconds into the frame, a 2-0 lead for the gold and green today. As Westfield with a shot that whistles wide of the cage. Picked up in the right wing corner by the Owls, backhanded along. They're just trying to settle another backhand chance, and not much going there for Ryan Candia. Around to the far side. Hardy trying to push it up ice. And the Owls will send it right back in. McGrath with the backhand will settle it down. 9 saves for the senior netminder. 22 for Valtonen, his counterpart. Already quite a lot of saves for the Finn to make, because we're just early on here in this second period. Here is Bergman, gains the blue line, passes out right side, Toivo Kramer. He'll keep a hold on it. He's got 2-3 Owls in the vicinity trying to put the pressure on him. Turning around, shooting from the left circle. That's cut down by an Owl stick. Gene Bouthiette on the right side half boards. Drop it off and around. Glover, shot through traffic. Might have found its way through. And Westfield quickly transitioning. Paul Friss gets the shot off and a kick save by McGrath. Around the board, Spencer DeRitter trying to move that along. And digging out there, Jake Ratcliffe, the Kiwi from New Zealand. Shot takes a change in direction on the way to McGrath, and he'll stick that one away. It's on the left side. Circling around is Ratcliffe. Drops off for DeRitter, dispossessed. And it's Bouthiette on the rush up on the near side. Drops it off. Wolford with a shot through some traffic. And eventually turned aside by Valtonen. Into the left wing corner, one of the Falcons takes a spill. Gets back up on his skates. And trying to dig at it. Eventually pushed towards goal, and Valtonen will shut it down. With 3 minutes gone in the second period, it's Fitchburg State 2, Westfield State 0.
And this has been a really nice job done by Fitchburg out of the puck drop. They're not content with the first power play goal for them in 2022. They're going right back on the attack, dumping pucks down low, chasing after them, forcing Westfield to have to fight back in their own defensive end.
Off the draw, Archambault with a shot from the point, and that's stopped by Valtonen, and he'll be able to control the rebound and cover it up for no further play.
And I want to talk a second about Reese Burton. I mean, his sixth goal of the season. He's just been on an absolute tear this year for the Falcons.
The junior from Delaware. He's from Newark, played for the Philadelphia Little Flyers. And has contributed so much to this offense. The Falcons bring so much depth in regards to who's going to do the goal scoring. You ask who's going to score goals on this team? Just about anybody can.
Yeah, I mean, the top line's always a great option. You have really a triple threat on there. And then that second line really coming into its own with Diamond and Hardy and the way they've been able to come along this season. And the veteran presence of Bergman to supplement the energy that each of them bring. And then, of course, some great games recently from Cookson and Archambault as well, who are playing on that fourth line here for the Falcons today.
When you've got depth like that, it's like lines just end up being numbers and not much more than that. Here is Archambault. Trying to bring that up into the left circle. Skating with some space. Bad angle shot goes behind the net. Picked up on the right side boards. Thrown along, but taken by the Owls for a brief moment. Trying to dispossess again in the right wing corner. And Westfield will come up with DiGregorio, loses it. And that's pushed towards goal. Valtonen picks it up with the glove and then run into a little bit with all the momentum going there. 15:45 to go in the second, 2-0 Fitchburg in front.
Hunter Fortin got into it a little bit there with John Michael DiGregorio. Just a little bit unhappy with a shot that DiGregorio delivered after the whistle. Not, fisticuffs worthy of unhappy, but unhappy.
Draw one by the Falcons, shot from distance, stopped by Valtonen. Into the left wing corner and picked up by Andrew McCormick. Floated around the boards, back to the neutral zone. Falcons will just dump it right back in. Owls trying to dig it out here on the near side from Jason Diamond. And gaining the zone is Candia. Big hit behind the play. Candia was dumped into the boards. Don't think that's the first time that's happened to him today. Puck comes out to the near side. Forden trying to dig that. Now pushing it right on goal. Diamond scores! Jason Diamond breaking right to the goal and putting it through the 5-hole of McGrath to get the Owls on the board.
Well, I mean, that's just an impressive goal right there. Jason Diamond found some space along the near side and took it in one-on-one on McGrath. And it is not an easy task to beat McGrath one-on-one, but just an excellent move put on display by Jason Diamond as he's able to cut out toward the front of the net. We'll take a look on the replay here. There you have the shot from the corner. A nice pass from the corner. Diamond walks right in, and it looked like he slipped it 5-hole on McGrath for his fourth goal of the season.
Senior from Lakeville, Connecticut, gets his side on the board with about 5 minutes gone here in the second period.
And it was set up by a beautiful centering pass from Candia as well.
Nearly on the doorstep, Bergman trying to poke it past on the feed from Egan Wolford. Just could not stick the puck there.
Saw Valtteri Valtonen just kind of trying to keep the Falcon in the net there for a second. Get an extra body there just in case anything happens.
He was content with letting Reese Bergman stay anywhere instead of in front of him.
Here's Zach Diamond. Goes for Glover. Now for Wolford. Into the zone. Backhands it in the direction of goal, but goes behind. Picked up in the left wing corner. by the green and gold for Hardy. Wolfer not able to get much on that, and here's Ratcliffe coming up the ice. Just one defender on him. He's able to get around him. He shoots it, suck, rebound, got a piece of the iron. And the Falcons just able to push the puck out of the zone here. As a great scoring chance for Westfield, that close to tying it.
And Westfield getting a lot more quality chances in this period here. Fitchburg a little sloppy at times here in this second.
Now here is Diamond trying to nutmeg one of the defenders, but the self-pass makes it to Valtonen, and he'll melt it down. 13:38 to go, second period, 2-1, Fitchburg in front.
That last chance, Dan, they tried to go 5-hole on McGrath again, but he was able to lock it down. He's not going to get beat there twice in a row.
Senior netminder from Worcester. It's like his numbers just get better year after year. Save percentage in the 940s coming into today. Wants to keep that escalation going. Heck, his freshman year, we had a save percentage in the low 930s. That set the all-time record for best save percentage in a season. As a penalty indicated against Fitchburg. Tripping the call. That'll be power play number 2 coming for Westfield, as Toivo Kramer is the guilty party.
Yeah, for Kramer, I believe this actually be his first penalty of his collegiate career over the box here.
Picked a time to take it. Not necessarily the greatest one, but it puts the Owls on the man advantage as they hunt for the equalizer. Cullen Young, right side, getting that back at the point. Chris out to the left dot. That shot, I think, caught a bit of the stick of McGrath and deflected into the boards. And the Falcons can clear it from there.
No, but you talk about timing in regards to Kramer committing this penalty. It really is not a great time because it already felt like Westfield was starting to gather some momentum. They're getting a couple looks on ice, odd man down ice, and now you give them a one-man advantage for the next 2 minutes. It's going to be tough here for Fitchburg to try to hold on.
Shots already in this period, 9-7 in favor of the Falcons. A lot of shots in this game, 30-15 in favor of the Falcons. You don't normally see numbers that high, and we're not even at the halfway point. There's a shot redirected in front, made its way to McGrath, and he's able to hold and cover.
Yeah, you talk about a high volume of shots, and as we've already mentioned in the broadcast, this the first period, the 21 shots taken, the most taken by Fitchburg in a period so far this season.
Draw will come to McGrath's left. Draw won by the Owls, and the shot fought off by McGrath. Joseph Carbone had the shot there, and McGrath made the initial save and panicked for a moment, but was able to get on top of it and cover for his 16th save of the contest.
Yeah, definitely do not want to allow any fluky chances for Westfield if there's a loose puck that just squeaks out the far side.
Falcons won the draw, and Jordan Holmes deposits it all the way down the ice as Valtonen pressured a little bit, able to get that pass off, but really made it more dramatic than he needed to.
Yeah, Reese Bergman already with a shorthanded goal this season. He's got a nose for another one just then.
Westfield has not scored nor conceded a shorthanded goal in this campaign. So we're at 30 seconds to go on the power play, 11:53 to go in the second, 2-1, Fitchburg in front. The Falcons with another clear. Valtonen will leave it as Dan Long skating it up ice, gains the red line. Now passed off, there's a blast, and a stop by McGrath off of Justin Collins. Now just 15 seconds to go on the man advantage for the blue and whites. And draw to McGrath's right. Collins matching up there with Anthony Ciolin. Top center for the Falcons, wins the draw. Throws it around the boards. And poked out by Wilmshurst. Down the ice it'll go. Long will collect. With the penalty about to expire to Toivo Kramer. Long spins around, keeps that puck away, finds Garcia. Near side to the red line. Falcons get a touch on from Ciolin. Wilmshurst can't pick that one up. 3 Owls surrounding him. Collins with the spin move there, but he gets decked. Falcons not happy to give him the time there. Long stretch pass, Seolin trying to split past the two defenders. Seolin gets a nice shot off, but just misses the cage.
Beat Valtonen, but he also beat the goal.
Now on the near side, Long pounds it off the boards. Down the ice, a foot race. Izzo trying to get there. Brian Glover getting back there, getting his stick in the way, not letting him have a prime scoring chance.
Yeah, really nice back-checking effort there by Glover to stay tick for tack with Peter Izzo on that puck race.
Izzo keeping it in on the blue line there, but pressure from Glover and Seolin, and ultimately Owls are going to drop back for some change of personnel. Falcons will take a moment, take a breath, and regroup. As it's dumped in off the stick of Wilmshurst, now the Falcons can change lines as well. And Seolin getting right in there on that forecheck, sending Chris Sullivan to the boards and putting the pressure on immediately. Cookson puts it across, only blue shirts in front. And the Owls able to push it out of the zone. Get another dump in, Cookson getting his stick on it to negate any possible icing. Owls will have to move their way back up ice, and Kuzior will dump it in. Valtonen leaves behind the net. Cullen Young will have to race to get to the puck. Puts it off the boards and flipped into the zone by Candia. Owls get that top line out there. 9:37 to go, second period, 2-1 Fitchburg. Dumped in down the ice. No Falcon stick to get in the way on the right side of the red line, and so icing it will be.
Saw Anthony Seolin have a real nice chance earlier in the period a few minutes ago. It's been great for Fitchburg to get him back in this lineup, returning from an injury he suffered on November 18th against UMass Dartmouth in that 4-0 victory against Plymouth. Didn't score in that game, but then had 2 assists in the next game the other night against Salem. He's now got points in 4 of his 5 games played. 3 of those 4 games, a multi-point effort.
He's proved himself to be one of the most dangerous players the Falcons have on offer. The junior from Simsbury, Connecticut. In the left wing corner, Falcons end. Spencer DeRitter, the former Viking. Nudging that back. Josh Miller will go to collect. Far side corner, flipped out. Down the ice, having trouble getting that settled was Matt Pelletier. Now that puck pops high in the air, 15 or so feet it goes. Eventually settled down, and Westfield will try to push it up. Here's Ratcliffe. He'll stop and cut back with the pass that misses all of its intended targets, ends up coming out of the zone. Owls will reset and regain the zone. Ratcliffe throws that high over the net. Off the boards it goes, left wing corner, DeRitter tries to spin out of the hit there. Keeps control of the puck as Collins throws it into the right wing corner. Ratcliffe trying to chase after it, battling there. Dan Long trying to get a touch on it, but eventually the Falcons can clear it down, and it will be icing against the green and gold with 8:30 to go in the second period. Fitchburg State 2, Westfield State 1.
Want to let the folks at home know, if you're just joining us, this is the first of 3 games we have for you here on FATV. We've got Fitchburg State and Westfield State now. Our second game will be the Mustangs of Milton Academy taking on the Griffins from Pomfret. And then the final game we have for you tonight, Lunenburg Air Shirley, those Blue Knights, will come and take on the Red Raiders of Fitchburg Monty Tech. All of the action here on FATV.
And of course, that matchup between Fitchburg Monty Tech and Lunenburg Air Shirley, we saw those 2 teams here on FATV at the Civic Center just 2 weeks ago. The sides going to be familiar with each other, and as me and Tim can tell you from Thursday, getting to see an opponent for a second time gives you the opportunity to try to change some things up. And we'll see what kind of fight Lunenburg Air Shirley can put up, having lost 4-1, and oh boy, a lot of stuff happening there.
Big hit, a stick snapped in half. It was Reese Bergman who needed a new blade.
Yeah, Bergman sandwiched as play comes to a stop, I believe along with Hardy, sandwiched Justin Collins. So Collins stayed on his feet, but it looks like he's laboring a bit toward the bench here, trying to stay off that left leg as much as possible. And amid all the chaos, what was already a large collision, somehow a stick snapped amid all of that, as you mentioned, John.
I didn't see it with my own eyes in live. I was just looking in the wrong spot at the wrong time, but I saw Tim's reaction. Face to the mouth.
It was just an explosion of equipment and bodies. Something to behold.
Owls keep it in the zone as they try to push it down into the corner. Halbig trying to nudge that around. Eventually makes its way to the near side. Bouthiet, stretch pass knocked down by Shanley. Into the zone it goes. Hassan Garcia will throw it down. That could go for icing, but the puck will die before the goal line. And they'll wave it. Sent down with just the perfect amount of velocity. It's Fitchburg. Again with that stretch pass, that touch on the right side of the red line so that they can get fresh legs out. Westfield pushing up ice. Puck popping into the right wing corner. John Michael DiGregorio in pursuit with Egan Wolford. Of course, Jason Diamond, the goal scorer for the Owls there as well in the left wing corner. A goal from Diamond and a goal from Diamond in this game. That's Wyatt Wilmshurst on the left side. Goes behind the net. Hunter Forden will come away with it to the left side half boards. Drops it, looking for Wolford. Lost it and escapes. Stretch pass down the ice. This is Cullen Young trying to get around the one defender, and Brian Glover can't do so. But now in the slot again in a dangerous shooting position, but they can't get a good shot away. Too many bodies in between the circles.
Yeah, Glover, he was beat on the rush, but he was just able to spin and got the skate on the puck to knock it away. So a fortunate break there on the defensive efforts by Brian Glover.
The senior captain defenseman from Baldwinville, showing off some of those veteran moves there to break up that scoring opportunity for Westfield. But Friss pushing it on. There's a great shot. Got a little bit of the iron as it went behind the net. Ratcliffe with the release.
I don't think McGrath knew just how close that puck was to the back of the net. He thought it was going off the back corner boards. It was maybe a foot away from him.
Now shot popped up in the air. Loose on the side of the paint. Fountain gets bowled over. It's going to be a penalty against Fitchburg for goaltender interference.
Yeah, Bergman out in front. The puck was popped up in the air, and you know, as we'll sometimes see in baseball, pop fly, I got it, no, I got it. A couple guys running into each other, and of course, anytime a player runs into a goalie, referee going to call that goaltender interference.
Complicates matters when the guys trying to catch the fly ball are on different teams too.
Yes, yeah, doesn't always happen, but seldom does it.
I've always wondered what baseball would look like if there were like 3 teams, like triangle baseball. Pitcher and catcher from one team, the rest of the fielders from the other team. It would be weird.
I feel like it'd be problematic in that you'd have some teams with ulterior motives, and that they may you know, a Black Sox situation, if you will.
Power play number 3 now for Westfield State. As Reese Bergman will sit 2 minutes for goaltender interference. 5:10 to go in the second period, and a 2-1 lead the Falcons are nursing, out shooting the Owls 31-18. DiGregorio trying to set up there for Diamond. Out to the point. Young into the corner for Friss. Friss behind the net. Centering feed doesn't go where he wants it to, and cleared all the way down the ice it'll go.
And again, just not a good look for Fitchburg to be on the penalty kill here. This has already been a much better period for Westfield. They've been able to get by McGrath, and all they need is one good shot here to tie the game.
Here's Ratcliffe. Moving it on there. Players getting tangled up. Comes back to Ratcliffe, now to Young. Again, Ratcliffe left point. Now Young at the point. Holding at the blue line to Friss on the dot. The right side shot is deflected up into the netting and out.
Tim, we talked earlier in the broadcast about the very long break that Fitchburg State had, the 42 days, I believe it was, between their games in December. And obviously teams always take a bit of a break for Christmas, but with the COVID situation, Fitchburg State had a very long break. How much do you think that's affected the Falcons now into their 3rd game beyond that break?
Well, it's tough to stay conditioned because you practice, of course, but then given the concerns over COVID, you have to be wondering how much the team was allowed to get together and practice as the puck shoveled down ice. And then you double that with the fact, or you couple it rather with the fact that Fitchburg is playing 6 games in an 11-day stretch. That is the fewest amount of time, that's the least amount of time rather, that Fitchburg has played 6 games in. So it's going to be a very long stretch after having a very stagnant stretch for the Falcons.
There's a shot there from the point by Tom Skoll, punched away by McGrath, his 18th save of the contest.
conditioning comes into play, and also that depth that we've talked about for Fitchburg State. It might really play to their advantage that they have so many guys, so many forwards who can put the puck in the net.
It's going to be different players stepping up every night, I would have to imagine. Tonight, Zach Diamond seems to be that player who wants to take charge, and considering how he did against Westfield last time they played, a hat trick. He's got 4 goals in his young career against this Owl team. I think he's got someone to pick on. Penalty is up now to Bergman. The Falcons are back to full strength. Now they try to hit that stretch pass to Bergman. He gets around the linesman, gets the puck there, settles it. Shot is blocked out there. Joseph Carbone getting in the way, and the Owls clear it.
Yeah, just back to how important a stretch this is. It's a lot of big, important conference games, all points on the line as Valtonen makes a save. So you want to stay healthy, try to come out on the other side of this. Fitchburg adding some defensive depth as well. Just recently, Jack Johansson and Joseph Gilbert, new defensemen, just joining the team recently for Fitchburg.
Shot deflected into the netting and out of play. 2:45 to go in the second period. Fitchburg State 2, Westfield State 1. Goals for Zach Diamond and Reese Bergman for the Falcons. And for Jason Diamond, he's got the lone goal for the Owls.
You mentioned those new players for Fitchburg State, Tim Jack Johansson, the freshman from Milford, New Hampshire, and Joe Gilbert, also a freshman. He's from Framingham.
Dumped in around the boards to the near side, Wilmshurst. Shouldered off there by Dan Long and Corey Morris. Able to send it into the corner. Second opportunity for the Falcons to clear, more successful over the reach of Long. Westfield trying to settle, push it back into the zone.
Long's arms, ironically, were a little too short to keep that puck in.
Falcons will go D to D, try to move their way up. 2:10 to go in the frame. Rainbowed into the zone by Seolin, into the right wing corner as McCormick getting there for Westfield. Nudging it along. Di Gregorio on the left side, trying to center for a one-time, maybe looking for Diamond. Couldn't quite get the positioning on the pass. Into the right wing corner it goes. That's Candia protecting the puck. Quick turnaround there by Diamond, trying to pick one of those corners. Not a lot of space to work with, and he put it too high. Kuzier trying to feed Hardy, but the Owls getting in the way of that. Puck going off a few different sticks, made its way through the slot, but kept in at the right point. Actually not so, they say. Delayed offsides against Westfield, and everyone's got to scram the zone. On the right side, Diamond gets the shot there. That'll be turned away by the pad of Valtonen. As we approach 65 seconds to go in the frame, the Falcons still leading 2-1. Shots in this period, 11 for Fitchburg, and I believe 11 for Westfield as well. It was 21-8 through 1. Fitchburg holding in their own end. Personnel changes on both sides. Falcons still working on protecting this lead. As Cookson gets a stick on there, and no icing it'll be, as Garcia throws it around to Ratcliffe. Ratcliffe making his way up, and now for Long. Can't do much more than that. And we'll have a whistle.
And I do want to keep talking about the depth for Fitchburg, because I think actually going out and getting 2 defensemen is actually it was such a good move, because at the start of the season, even Wolford went down with an injury just before the season started, and they were down to 6 defensemen. Something happens, and then you're down for 5 for a game, and it took a while for Wolford to come back. So to have that extra depth now, 9 defensemen healthy and ready to play for your team, that's great to have options if you're Coach Dean Fuller.
And they had to get to 6 defensemen because they converted Adam Kuzior from a forward to a defenseman. Here's Archambault holding with it on the stick, trying to go for the wraparound. Too many bodies in the way. 7 seconds to go in the period. That just stays in the rink. And Macchione will just dump it in, and that's going to run out the rest of the clock and bring us to the end of the second period. A goal for each side in the second frame of 20 minutes and through 40 minutes of play. It's Fitchburg State 2, Westfield State 1.
Fitchburg did get a puck in the net in this period, but honestly, Tim, to my eye, they should count themselves just a little bit fortunate that they're heading to the locker room with the 2-1 lead. Westfield really took control. They got a lot of momentum behind them, got one back in the net, get back within a goal, and ever since then, it's really felt like Fitchburg has had maybe a chance or two, but for the most part, it almost feels like a matter of time before the Owls tie this one up.
No, I mean, I agree entirely with you there, John. It feels like Westfield, I mentioned it a bit earlier in the period, the second period was a much more complete period for them, and this was one of the points that Coach Dean Fuller stressed when I spoke with him earlier in the year after the initial game against Westfield, that 5-2 victory over in the Whip City, was that Fitchburg played a good first two periods, a good first 40 minutes of the game, but then they started slipping in that third period. They allowed the 2 goals that they ended up allowing in the game, and so Fitchburg, we kind of saw it happen again here, where they got off to a blistering hot start, out shooting them 21-8, I believe it was, for the first period, an absurd margin. But then cooling off of it as the game went on, and so we'll have to see, is Fitchburg able to check themselves in the locker room, get back into this game and mentally and do what it takes to hold on to this 2-1 lead across the last 20 minutes of play.
Certainly a very important day here at the Wallace Center. Hockey day in the Berg. 3 games on offer for you today. We've still got the third period of Fitchburg State versus Westfield State. That will be followed by the Jake Tebow game, the Milton Academy Mustangs taking on the Griffins of Pomfret. And then our third and final contest, Lunenburg Air Shirley, those Blue Knights will be coming and taking on the Red Raiders of Fitchburg Monty Tech. One more time, we'll let you know all proceeds from today's game go to benefit the Tebow Family Rehabilitation Trust. We encourage you to go to tbo14.fatv.org, make a donation as well. So much more hockey to play here on FATV. Tim, Dan, and I will take the second intermission with the players, and we will have all the action of the third in about 13 and a half minutes. It's Hockey Day in the Berg on FATV. Back here at the Wallace Civic Center, it is Hockey Day in the Berg on FATV. John Gugerty joined, of course, by Tim Foley and Dan Bolak. Fitchburg State leads this game by a score of 2-1 as we get ready for the third period of action. But one more time, we would like to thank once again the underwriters who make this and all of our broadcasts possible. FATV's remote productions are underwritten by Rollstone Bank and Trust, Workers Credit Union, Unitil, Minuteman Press, the Sentinel and Enterprise, Fitchburg State University, and UMass Memorial Health, Health Alliance Clinton Hospital. Also want to thank North End Subaru as well. You see all of the logos there on the screen. Folks at home, you want to be an underwriter of FATV, have a small business, why not? Go to FATV.org. We're not above taking money. We're never above okay, we're above taking some people's money. But anyway, speaking of money, we want to mention once again that all of the games here today at the Civic Center are to benefit the Tebow Family Rehabilitation Trust. One more time, you can go to tbo14.fatv.org for all of the information. That'll take you straight to the GoFundMe for Jake Tebow, the player from the Milton Academy Mustangs, who of course suffered the terrible spinal injury this past summer while playing hockey. All of the festivities, all of the games here today at the Civic Center are to benefit that fund. We would also like to thank our crew here for FATV, the fantastic crew. Our director today is Jared Roberts, Travis Falk running graphics and audio, Robin Como, Todd Govin, and Caitlin Mobilia on camera today. Thank you to all of them. Really fantastic production work in the first 2 periods. We saw that first goal scored by the Falcons from that beautiful camera shot down on the right side boards. We actually saw that trickle back behind Valtteri Valtonen. Fantastic work by the crew of FATV. Now, guys, as we turn our attention back to the game, Tim, what do you think Westfield is going to do as they come out of the locker rooms here and start this third period?
They're going to try to come out and punch Fitchburg in the mouth. I mean, this is a Westfield team that when you look at how their scoring breaks down this season, 11 goals in the first period, 12 in the second, but then you have 18 in the third period. This is the frame in which they do all of their work, a lot of their work, and so I expect them to come out high and flying. And Really, a similar note for Fitchburg. So much of their scoring comes in the third period as well. So both of these teams are just going to be playing smash mouth hockey for the next 20 minutes, and it's going to be an exciting finish to this game, no doubt.
Yeah, these are two teams that prey on their opposition when the game gets into the late stages. The Falcons have outscored their opposition 19-9 in the third period. The Owls have outscored their opposition 18-7. Something's got to break there, doesn't it?
Two teams that really thrive in the third period. Looked like Westfield had the momentum behind them in the later stages of the second period. You know, Fitchburg went out to that 2-0 advantage, but Westfield answered back pretty quickly, got it back to a one-score game, and then ever since then, guys, it really has felt like the Owls are knocking on the door. Fitchburg, you know, not necessarily not playing with intensity or anything, it's just that Westfield has been able to control the flow of play through the second half of the second period.
Yeah, Fitchburg's going to have to go back to a lot of what they were doing in the first period and just completely dominating the pace of play. It took Westfield a little bit perhaps to get their legs underneath them. You know, driving in from Westfield, it's not exactly a short drive all the way out from Western Mass. And so,
speaking as someone who came in from West Springfield, I can tell you, no, it is not a short drive. It is, in fact, a long drive.
So Fitchburg's just going to have to come back out and try to channel some of what they had back in that first period here in the third.
Shots in the second period were 13-10 in favor of Fitchburg, 34-18 for the game. Tim Foley's got the call the rest of the way.
Thanks so much, guys, as the teams are ready once again. Fitchburg from left to right, Westfield from right to left. Sit back and enjoy. The puck is dropped. The third period is underway here in the first of 3 games here on Hockey Day in the Berg on FATV. Westfield controls in the neutral zone. They just leave it ahead. Now Cormier tries to hold on to it. It falls back to the hands of Brian Glover right next to McGrath. Rifles it up off the glass. Now out by. Here comes Wyatt Wiltshire splitting the defense. His shot just goes wide left off the end boards. Kept now in along the right side of the attacking line for Fitchburg. Hunter Fortin goes across the blue. Gives it down to Wilmshire. The shot goes wide left into the boards once again. Wilmshire's a couple of nice chances for the Falcons in this first shift here of the period. Now Fortin trying to wrestle his way through the defense. Got around one Owl, ended up having to be knocked off the puck, and Westfield now clears back out of their own end. Diamond fighting along the near side. He's got one already tonight. Thrown into the zone by Westfield, as Fitchburg now retreating back in their own end. Bergman holds up. High riser well out of his own end into the Westfield zone. Hardy, backhander for Bergman, holds on. Far corner, gives it back for Hardy. Waiting, Diamond cycles it back for Hardy once again. Centering pass, tried to find Bergman instead. Only found Spencer DeRitter. Now down the left side, centering pass, looking for a fellow Owl down in the center. That was Dawson Garcia. Down the left side, comes down. Nice defensive effort by Miller, but they score! Spencer DeRitter left it out for Paul Friss, who was able to beat McGrath out of his net. And we have a tie game, 1 minute and 38 seconds into the third period here. Guys, we were talking about this. It felt like Westfield was sort of building up all game long. As you see here, DeRitter leaving it back for Friss and McGrath. By the time he realizes there's a crashing attacker, he cannot make the save.
That's one of those shots that's going to be so challenging for a goalie to stop. Just beautifully fed there to Friss, and just able to, as you said, punch them in the mouth, basically.
So it is a tie game here for Friss now. That is his 8th of the season, team leading 8th, now up to 13 points on the season. Also team leading for the Owls, as now Westfield once again right back in the offensive end. Fitchburg looking to clear out of their own end. Kramer whips on the up-ice pass. He regathers, however, now a 3-on-2 over the attacking line. Bouthietta drive. Valtonen the save. Play will stop with 17:46 to go in the third period.
Kramer came crashing in looking for that rebound. It's been a bit of an issue for Valtonen throughout the contest, but he was able to hang on to that one, and he'll draw a face-off to his right. 17:46 to play here in regulation time.
Fourth line out there for the Falcons, Archambault, Cookson, and Macchione. Cookson's able to win it back up to the point. Wolford throws it down low. The turnover results in Westfield clearing it back out. Batted out of midair by Tom Skoll. Flipped up and out of the zone. Glover, a nice piece of hand-eye coordination to leave it for himself. Now along the left side, holds on. Tries to center it, nobody there. Threw it into the near corner, picked up by Archambault. He'll keep it in. Valtonen sliding well out of his net, can't grab it with the glove. It's all the way back outside of the Westfield zone. Glover holds on. Looks off a Westfield defender. Gives it up the boards. Takes a funky carom off the boards just beyond the stick of Macchione. Does end up deep in the attacking end for Fitchburg, however. Kept in nicely by Glover. He'll throw it on net. Goes off a body in front, ends up in the far corner. Now it's stuck along the far half boards. Shoveled back up to the point. A blast ends up going off the end glass. Wolford's drive couldn't find the net. Now along the far wall. Archambault, a nifty move, now holds on along the blue line. His backhander goes down low. Macchione trying to find the puck in his fourth game as a Falcon. Siolan's brought down, no call on the ice. Comes back up to Miller along the right side of the line. His shot goes off the shins of Wiltshire, sends up in the far corner.
Macchione just went to the bench without his stick.
As now Valtonen will cover, and we'll have a stoppage in play with 16:20 to go in the third period.
Fitchburg trying to swarm a little more, try to get some more shots in the direction of Valtonen. It seemed like one of those shots, the one from Miller, the way he was shooting it, he was looking for a redirection from Wilmshurst.
I was looking like, where the heck did Michael Macchione's stick go? It was buried here in the near side right corner. Macchione just went to the bench without it.
Saw the referee hand it off to him. He will have his lumber back for his next shift. As now Wilmshire is able to keep it in along the line, denying Ryan Candia from clearing it out of the zone. Poke further ahead by Siolan, looking for Fortin. He's pinned up against the boards by Sullivan. Now Fortin throws it cross ice into the near corner. Miller, centering pass, looking for Siolan. Can't put it on net. Just bounced out of his possession. Westfield now trying to clear it out. Miller finds it with the helmet. Can't control it. Now up ice. Here comes Di Gregorio. Holds on. Left side. Gives it back for Candia. Pass misses. Now Fitchburg quickly the other way. A 3-on-2. Hunter Fortin. Left side. Centering pass. Wilmshire's the shot. Denied by the stick of Candia. Just snuck it in on the back-checking effort. Puck will flutter up and out of play. And that runs into, to my knowledge, a couple of the Fitchburg State baseball players here in attendance this afternoon. Baseball season coming up for the Falcons. Just a few months. Looking to make another run at the MASCAC championship.
They're looking for that ever elusive first title, but they've come pretty close. Twice, two seasons in a row, they've made it to the championship round.
Back-to-back appearances. Coach Manfredo looking to continue to steer that direction in the right program as Jordan Holmes sits down Spencer DeRitter. Fitchburg now out of their own end, cleared up into the Falcon bench by Diamond. And we will have no further play. 15-15 to go in the third period here. All knotted at 2. No, sure, Spencer DeRitter's first of the game is the game-tying goal as it stands.
It's interesting. Originally, we had that as Frisk scoring that one from DeRitter. Originally, they had Frisk with the goal, but no assist for DeRitter at all. Now they've changed it to DeRitter has the goal. That
was pretty deliberately Frisk. I did just read it without thinking about it, but yeah, that was definitely Frisk's goal, so it was Frisk who did score that goal earlier in the contest as puck comes all the way down for an icing face-off to come back inside the Fitchburg zone. 14:55 to go in the third period here, so once again, Frisk, his first of the game, team leading 8th of the season, ties this game at 2 apiece. And gentlemen, this is a Westfield team that has a reputation of being stubborn. They've tied Plymouth State this season. They've tied UMass Dartmouth this season. 2 of the top teams in the conference year in and year out. Now here we are again, Westfield in a dogfight against another top conference competitor. Puck thrown all the way down ice, high stick by a Falcon, but touched up by an Owl as they now look to lug it up ice back from beneath their own net. Glover holds on here. It's across ice. Wolford back for Glover. Falcons for space up ice. Finally back to Glover. He's got plenty of room to run. Now over the attacking line. Right wing side. Tries to center it for Kramer. Kramer brought up ahead by an Owl defender as Wolford goes down low and tabletops Matthew Jones. who was slow to get up, but now back on his feet. Jones laboring a bit as he makes his way back into the offensive end. Going to look to finish his shift. Gets it on the backhand, tries to clear it out. Shanley now holds on near side, leaves it down for Kramer. Kramer along the near goal line, spins off of Long. Now Shanley along that near goal line. He tries to spin it out. Gives it back down for Kramer. Holds on beneath the net. Kramer waiting, patiently holding on. Right circle, tries to throw it in front, and instead sends it into Cullen Young, who he himself is looking gassed on his way back to the bench. May have taken a hit somewhere, as we'll have a stoppage in play here. Offsides the call. Face off to come just outside the Westfield zone.
On that last time of possession there, just seeing all those Owls cramming up the slot, trying to jam up all the shooting lanes. We've been surprised too. You know, last time these two teams played, the shots in that game finished 43-29 in favor of Westfield State. Of course, they don't have Tristan Terrio anymore. But is that really that big a difference, or is it just a matter of, you know, these two teams just playing so much differently than they did back in December?
As Westfield trying to gain the line as another Owl seemingly laboring off toward the bench. Corey Morris this time, slow to get off, and then another Owl climbing into the bench there behind him. Westfield is getting just absolutely beat up here in this third period. Peter Izzo climbing into the bench after Morris. This has been a physically taxing first 7 minutes of action here from the Wallace Civic Center.
Peter Izzo in a lot of discomfort here. We can see him just looking over from the press box into the Owl bench. He was basically not using his legs, as he was just pulling himself with his arms across the ice and then up over the door rather into his bench, being tended to by the medical staff here on the near side.
Keep an eye on Izzo, see how he's doing. We'll see if he gets back out on the ice here this third period. Tie game, 2-2. Fitchburg and Westfield locked at deuces. 12:43 to go in the third period. Wilmshire trying to fight it ahead. Fortin now holds on. He's got two defenders ahead of him. Breaks down the right side. A shot just goes wide left of Valtonen. Cousior along the far side of the blue line. Throws it back down low. Now Fortin holds on. Waits. Holds on across the blue line. Pass from Miller. His shot ends up in the skates of an Owl. Met by John Michael DiGregorio. Now thrown all the way up ice. He was hoping for a pass to find Jason Diamond. Couldn't do that. McGrath has to play it as Diamond's the first one to it. Adam Cousior along the far side leaves it further ahead for Wilmshire. Seolin tries to poke it further ahead. Westfield will dump it down into the zone. Now holding on here. Cousior up by Seolin. Backhands it further into the zone. Puck now held along the near side. Westfield able to clear it out. Holmes holds on along the red line. Gives it over to his defensive partner in Christian Halvig. Now Westfield gains the line offsides, however. The head of the game was Spencer DeRitter as Jake Ratcliffe just tried to crawl over the blue line with the puck. Not on the same page, as faceoff's going to come just outside the Fitchburg zone.
No, the goalies haven't been tested too much in this period. The big green board is as accurate as we think it would be. The shots are only one apiece. The live stats have a couple extra ones for Fitchburg, but still, not a whole lot of shots getting through to the keepers.
It feels like the energy is kind of being drawn out of this game because, you know, as we've been talking about a bit, especially with what we've seen in this third period, this has been a very physical game. Westfield's been physically taxed through this period so far, and then Fitchburg, you have to remember, they're playing their third game in 5 days, and so it's been a very busy stretch for the Falcons recently, and for Westfield, you know, their first game of the year as well. You have to think about conditioning, as we talked about earlier in the game for Fitchburg, also coming off of a very long break. Now in the defensive end here for the Falcons, Holmes pokes it further ahead. Picked back up here by Westfield. Thrown ahead over the blue line now, held on to here by Jake Ratcliffe. Leaves it back for his teammate in Collins. Then in the corner by Holmes. Holmes knocks him off the puck. Holding onto it down low, just in front of where it says Fitchburg State along the boards. Battle now on the near side. Dugout, give it back up to the point, but now Kramer able to clear the zone. Knocked off the puck, Westfield regathers. Hardy now holds on, gains the blue line, on sides, shots blocked, tries to drag it through, Hardy misses wide left. Puck now in the near corner. Glover holds on. He's got some space now. Kramer up at the point. They'll swap positions. Gives it back down. Wolford almost runs into Shanley. A shot. They score! Toivo Kramer from the right dot sends it past Valtonen to give Fitchburg the 3-2 lead. 10:04 to go in the third period.
Just tremendous, crisp passing, and Kramer with a beautiful shot, sitting there in the right dot, through the 5-hole of Valtonen with so much force, it just pounded the back of the net up straight out, and a tremendous strike for the green and gold to retake the lead.
That puck was in and out of the net so fast I almost didn't realize that it had been a goal, but the referee Riley was right on the spot, and Tim, you had the call. A fantastic goal by Toivo Kramer.
So for Kramer, that is his 4th goal of the season.
The late penalty against Westfield.
As McGrath's going to be pulled to the bench. Kramer another drive, ends up sending it into the glass. Now comes around far side. 6-on-5 here. Westfield touches up, and we'll have a power play coming here for Fitchburg in a moment. Here's a look at the goal once again. Along the left side, it was given back to Kramer, who one-timed it, and that was Egan Wolford, who was coming down the left side, who sent it cross ice to the near dot to the likes of Toivo Kramer, who scored his 4th of the season. So the penalty assessed
hasn't come through the live stats yet, but we can tell you Spencer DeRitter is in the box.
DeRitter is in the box. This to be the 4th power play of the afternoon for Fitchburg. They are already 1 for 3 this afternoon, finally breaking through on their 12th power play opportunity of the new year. Glove save Valtonen as he scoops up a ground ball sent in from the point by Joshua Miller. Still waiting on that penalty call.
Just want to give a quick injury update on Peter Izzo, the 4th line forward from Oakville, Ontario. Have seen him up on his feet on the bench. He's been talking with the trainer for Westfield as we get another whistle and another stoppage here. You know, hard to read lips, but just reading body language, some positive signs from Peter Izzo. Wouldn't be shocked if we see him back into this game.
And we're going to have another penalty against Westfield here. It'll be Dan Long going to the box for the Owls as he met Hunter Fortin in the corner. Didn't quite catch what happened, but Fortin was slow to get up out of the corner. We'll hear what the call on the penalty is in just a minute. As for DeRitter, in the meantime, he was sent to the box for 2 minutes for cross-checking. And we'll take a moment here as a timeout is going to be called by who I could not tell you. If you're Fitchburg, you want to try to use this to get another insurance goal to really make sure that you can put this game out of reach for Westfield. But if you're Westfield, I want to give you guys some rest here so I can see the timeout going either way. We are still yet to hear who exactly called the timeout.
If I had to guess, I would say it would be the Owls. Momentum has really swung in the favor of Fitchburg State. Obviously, they got that goal to give them the lead again here in the third period, and then very quickly go on the power play and then go up 2 men. If you're Bob Mealy from Amherst College in his 12th season rather, as the head coach of Westfield, it's a little bit of panic city right now for the Owls. Just okay, guys, take a breath. The world is not on fire, but we need to play better hockey right now. Come on, calm down.
So the penalty officially to Dan Long is for cross-checking, identical to that of Spencer DeRitter. So it's a 5-on-3 for the next minute and 42 seconds. Then DeRitter will come out of the box, and it'll be 5-on-4 for 18 seconds. Top power play unit out for the Falcons. Seelman on the draw, wins it back. He's got Miller, Wilmshire, Bergman, and Fortin out there with him. Fortin now atop the left circles. Gives it down for Bergman, back up for Miller. Falcons playing tight here. Shot save made. Valtonen sprawling out on his belly. Covers it with the trapper for no further play. 12 seconds gone in the 5-on-3 penalty. 9:08 to go in the game. Other games going on around the MASCAC here today. Worcester was at Salem earlier. Plymouth was at Framingham. We'll update you on those scores in a moment. Xavier was supposed to visit UMass Dartmouth tonight, but that game got postponed as the puck comes all the way back out of the Westfield zone. Fitchburg has to regather. Salem beating Worcester 5-0, an impressive outing for the Vikings.
Yeah, that is a surprise. Worcester's been fairly solid this year, and Salem has had their missteps.
As Fortin holds on, right dot, gives it along the goal line, back up to Wilmshire, a drive off the blocker of Valtonen. As now 41 seconds passed in this 5-on-3 penalty. Still 1 minute and 1 second left on the penalty to Spencer DeRitter for cross-checking. 1 minute and 19 left on the cross-checking penalty to Dan Long. And then one other MassCat contest, Plymouth visiting Framingham. That one going about as you'd expect. Plymouth beating Framingham 8-3. Puck pops out of the zone, nearly comes up to the camera crew here. I mean, there's a couple of cameras for a couple of different outlets here. You have the coaches with their players keeping track of the game on the iPad down there. I believe also the next game, of course, Milton Academy and Pomfret School. I believe they are setting up some AV equipment, getting ready to document the game. Nearly not having any AV equipment available for the game. Almost taking some contact with the puck there.
Next whistle, I have a story about that.
Oh, sure. Fortin holds on, gives it off to Miller. Miller holds on, high slot back over to Fortin, right side. Waits along the right circle. He's right near Wilmshire's. Puck poked out of his reach. Fortin's able to go back and keep it inside. Now Miller back to Fortin, left side. Bergman down low. Fortin once again waiting. Back to Bergman. He holds. Siolan beneath the net. So 5-on-3, 26 seconds in the first penalty. Shot, save made, Valtonen. He'll hold on. 8:02 to go in the game. Still 23 seconds left in that first penalty to Spencer DeRitter.
So as the Owls and Falcons just, exchange claw maintenance tips. It's just bird stuff going on down on the ice. This is, 10 years ago now, before we had the bright idea to actually shoot down the boards. We just kind of stuck cameras in the stands and figured it would be okay. I was running the right side camera, and a play just like that happened. Puck came whistling past me, slammed into my camera case. It was fun. It was a good time.
Boy, certainly getting more than you may have bargained for us. The cross-ice feed from Hardy is risen up into the protective netting with 13 seconds left in the first penalty to DeRitter.
No, it was fine. I got a 20% bonus in my next check.
Oh, there you go. All right, you know what? I'll take that. I'll get hit.
The joke is that I'm a volunteer, too.
Oh, you know what? I forgot about that. I thought for a moment that, maybe times were different. As the first penalty expires now to DeRitter, a feed in front. Hardy tried to spin and put it on Valtonen. Now still 15 seconds left in the penalty to Dan Long. Near side, second power play unit out. Bouthier gives down low for Kramer. Goal line, walks in, stuffed in front. Diamond trying to clean up the rebound. And it's brought all the way back out of the zone. Swept down ice for an icing. No whistle as Westfield no longer on the penalty kill, but once were. A successful 5-on-3 kill for the Owls. They are still down by just one after the goal coming out from Fitchburg's Toivo Kramer. Them ahead 3-2. 7 minutes to go in the game. Puck finds Glover, can't keep it on his stick, does chuck it ahead to make sure Westfield doesn't get the odd man down ice. Back to retrieve it now. Here's Holmes. Back in his own end. Pressured by DeRitter. Fresh out of the box. Cookson up for Diamond. Nice touch pass. Now Diamond left side. Can't bring it ahead. Could not get around Chris Sullivan back on the fence. Now up ahead for Westfield. They hold on. Jake Radcliffe gives it back now. Cookson able to slap it just further back toward his defensive blue line. Cannot clear it, however. Westfield, a nice job keeping it in the zone. And then off the bench, Tom Skoll tried to preserve the offensive zone time, but could not do so. And touching up on the far side for Westfield, willfully to draw the offside was Matthew Jones. We've seen that a few times from Westfield here tonight, where they have a lot of cross-ice passes right along the blue line, but they're always angled back out of the zone, and so often Westfield had to clear it out of their own end, or out of the offensive end. Face-off now just outside the Fitchburg zone. Cooks it on the draw, can't put it back against Justin Collins. Now it's back with the Westfield defense. Long gives it over for Skoll, throws it cross-ice off the boards, and it's picked up by Wolford. Falcons look to clear out of their own end. Holds on. His backhander goes just along the Fitchburg bench. Adam Cousior shielding himself from possible contact. And they score! Macchione to Archambault, make it 4-2 Fitchburg with 5:55 to go in the third period.
Seems like it came just like the last one. Sharp passing to a one-timer. And Cole Archambault, you've been saying it all day, Tim. He's really been heating up in recent games. Give him another goal. That's his second of the. That is his second of the year.
Second of the year. That is now 4 points in 3 games for Archambault. As here you see Macchione fights through contact on the left side. Archambault streaking in the slot. Last one past Valtonen, unable to react in time. A beautiful, well-drawn up play for the Falcons. Excellent effort as well by Macchione to record his first ever collegiate assist and point on the play. So again for Archambault as the puck flies up out of play. 2 assists against Plymouth, a goal the other night against Salem, and now another goal here tonight to give him now 4 points in his last 3 games. If you're head coach Dean Fuller, you really have to like seeing this fourth line come to life over these past few games. As faceoffs run back in the offensive end by Fitchburg. Cousior along the left side of the line, wraps it around the boards. And it's now held on to along the near side. Westfield pinned up against the boards. Here is John Michael de Gregorio. A couple of players battling still. Wilmshire gets it back up to Miller, and they score! Josh Miller now! Deflected off of an Owl in front. Miller's able to record his 4th of the season. 5-2 Fitchburg.
You think after the Owls survived that 5-on-3, they would have the momentum, but it's 3 goals in a row for the Falcons after that. And it looked to me like Valtonen just struggled to track that puck as it made it in on the far post.
You almost wonder, Dan, if fatigue is coming into play for Valtteri Valtonen. You see at the top of your screen there, he's faced 42 shots tonight. This is the 5th one that's gone in the net. This went through 3 or 4 bodies on the way there. Maybe Valtonen didn't have a clear shot of it, but he just couldn't get that blocker side hand up and deflect it away. Now 5-2 in favor of Fitchburg.
2 goals, 30 seconds apart. If you're the Falcons, this has been an excellent period here. Of course, Westfield came out, got that quick one to tie the game at 2-2, but since then, 3 unanswered goals to give them the 5-2 lead. That is, for Fitchburg, the 2 fastest goals scored so far this season. As the puck finds itself back inside the Fitchburg zone. Glove save made McGrath. Rebound comes loose. Friss out in front, and they score. Westfield. Spencer DeRitter out in front. Friss once again getting involved in the play. An excellent effort as he was being brought down to the ice to backhand it back out in front for DeRitter, who had nothing but net to make it a 2-goal game.
You mentioned, Tim, at the start of this third period, both of these teams excel in the third period of action. We saw it originally from Westfield. That is just a fantastic job on that centering pass. You see it there on the replay. As the man is going down to the ice, he centers the puck. DeRitter is right there, puts it in the back of the net. Westfield is still alive at 5-3.
Exactly 5 minutes to go in the game here. A 2-goal lead for the Falcons. As for DeRitter, that is his now 2nd of the game, or 1st of the game, excuse me, as once again the live stats not exactly up to snuff on that first goal that Friss scored, as puck thrown into the Westfield bench actually went off the head of sophomore forward Corey Morris out of Conaway, Quebec. But for DeRitter, his 1st of the game. For Friss, his 1st assist of the game. 2nd point of the game for DeRitter, 2nd point of the game for Friss. So that line for the Owls, that 2nd line of DeRitter, Friss, and Ratcliffe working well so far here this afternoon. But of course in need of another 2, and time running out. 4:42 to go in the game. Puck along the near side, Falcons looking to clear it out. Kramer now gains the blue line. Holds on to it right side, tries to bring it through the legs of Dawson Garcia. He's instead sent down to the ice. Garcia now beneath the net. Gives it over far side. Carried out of the zone by Justin Collins. Gives it over right side now. as an Owl and Chris Sullivan spun off the boards as the referee laid the body down. 4:12 to go in the game. Westfield holds on here. They'll backhand it around near side. Cross ice pass back in their own end. Falcons going for a change. The stretch pass almost connects with Joseph Carbone. Cannot connect with him, as it would have been a nice chance for an up ice rush had he been able to find Carbone. Still in the Fitchburg zone here. Halbig trying to dig it out against Matthew Jones. Far side now, Archambault skating around his man, moving up ice now, gaining the blue line. Mack leaves it for Macchione, a drive wide left of Valtonen. Puck stuck up along the boards for a moment. Cookson bats it down, but in the time it took him to do so, the Westfield defense closed in and swept it out of the zone. 3:20 to go in the game. Fitchburg by a pair. Valtonen not yet staring toward the bench. We'll have to see if and when head coach Bob Mealy gives his netminder the signal. Back deep in the Fitchburg zone. Owls shovel it further down once again. Jason Diamond in pursuit. He's got one this afternoon. Hold on, far side shot, hits traffic. McGrath makes the save through it all. Archambault now trying to clear it out of the zone. Does that. Macchione levels John Michael de Gregorio as he tries to back check without a stick. Thrown down ice, no icing. Waved off by the closer linesman in Townsend. Now Wiltshires can't deke around. Paul Friss able to break up the play. Wolford, a heavy hit into the boards. Further ahead now, here comes Wiltshires down the right side. Over for Siolan, a drive! He scores! Anthony Siolan on the one-timer from Wyatt Wiltshires. And now for Anthony Siolan, that is 5 games with points in the 6 he has played this season. Siolan is back in action here after rejoining the Falcon lineup.
Comes back to those first 2 goals. Great passes for a one-timer. And Valtonen has been struggling to track the one-timers, but really just about any goalie would, with shots taken at that pace. Siolan had to get in on the fun on that one, too. And now the 3-goal lead restored.
I don't want to read too much into body language, but Valtonen just looks tired in net right now, leaning forward on his skates. You saw him take a heavy pull from the water bottle. I think he's just about ready to be done playing hockey for the day.
It has been a long day in net. As of right now, having on record faced 49 shots, 6 of them having found twine. Going to be a delayed penalty here. Westfield holding on. Fitchburg going to send a man to the box in a moment. Valtonen heads off toward the bench as the goalies all shuffle down to allow Valtonen to get on for the extra man. Westfield gains a line, touched up by Hardy. We'll have a stoppage in play. 1:42 seconds to go. Fitchburg go to the penalty kill with 1:42 seconds left. They hold a 6-3 lead.
A little surprised to see Valtonen head back into net. Figured Westfield might take the extra skater, but you know, you're down 3 goals. You maybe just want to keep it.
They're gesturing it should come off, or just pushing him forward.
Maybe just in case the Falcons win this faceoff, they don't want anything silly to happen.
Because Fitchburg on the penalty kill would be permitted to ice the puck with no consequence. That means 3 shots down ice on what would be an empty cage for the Falcons. 1:26 to go in the game. Game clock, fewer seconds remain than on the penalty to Zach Diamond. Diamond's penalty, 2 minutes for hooking. As Diamond, once again, the team leader in penalty minutes this season for this Falcon team, has 42.
Couple of game misconducts for high hits being the consequence there. I don't believe he actually played in the Salem game.
He did not, actually, yes. Diamond did not. As Bouthier now comes down ice. Cross ice pass, finds the right pad of Valtonen. Cookson couldn't clean up the rebound. He's battling in the corner now, tied up with an Owl. Pushing and shoving ensues. 42 seconds left in the game. Now up ice. Here come the Owls. Down the right side, they'll gain the zone. Shot, glove save, May McGrath. He'll streak over. Another shot, save, May McGrath. Matthew Jones came in to try to clean up the rebound and could not. Out in front, another left pad save made McGrath.
It's not often that you see McGrath a little sloppy with the rebound control, but he was really struggling with it there.
That shot through traffic ends up going off glass. Can't be gloved down and out of the zone. Puck back in the Westfield end. 10 seconds left as Fitchburg is going to open up Hockey Day in the Berg, picking up 2 points in a 6-3 victory over the Westfield State Owls. Multi-point game coming out from both Joshua Miller and Wyatt Wilmshurst here, as so many Falcons getting on the score sheet. 6 different Falcons scoring goals here today. At times we felt that Westfield was starting to ramp up throughout the game. First period, they started to get some momentum toward the end of the period. Second, they played a more complete period, and they came right out in the third and tied it up. But then Fitchburg, once Westfield tied the game with that goal early in the third period, they turned it on, hit the gas, and we ended with a 6-3 final.
It's a credit to the Falcons, Tim. They got tied up. You know, you said Westfield was going to come out in this third period, try to punch the Falcons in the mouth. That's what happened. But, you know, some fighters kind of like, you know, they rub their jaw, they look at their fist, they're like, oh, there's blood on my face. Excellent. Now I'm going to hit harder. And that was kind of what the Falcons did. They saw their own blood, they decided they liked it, and they went for the kill. And they put 3 more biscuits in the basket and went home with a 6-3 win. A very well-deserved victory for Fitchburg State.
No question about it. The Falcons, you know, there were moments where it was starting to look a little dicey. It was a 2-2 game, but Fitchburg was able to come in, take control. They started hitting their passes with more consistency, and Valtonen just got worn down in goal. You know, last time he faced this Falcon side, he gave up 3 goals in 1 period and didn't get to play the other 2. And this time around, he gets to play the whole 60 minutes, but the big guy, 6'4", 185 pounds, just got worn down.
I think that wearing down really was an important factor, especially on those last couple of goals. Now, I don't want to say he gave up. I think he just got tired, but you could really see the fatigue on the Westfield netminder.
Fitchburg, 51 shots on record in tonight's contest. That's the most they've taken in a game all season long. A very busy day for Valtonen in net, especially with the way that Fitchburg was playing this afternoon. I mean, we saw, I want to say easily, at least 3 of these goals were on one-timers. Cross-ice passes. Fitchburg did a really nice job moving the puck cross-ice, moving laterally in the offensive zone to get Valtonen moving from side to side. I used to be a goalie in my own right. There's a reason I'm up in the booth right now. It's tough, however, to move side to side like that for a 60-minute game, especially with the intensity that Fitchburg brought at times. So definitely, really, Valtonen played about as well as he could have. Westfield only getting 26 shots on net in the contest. Could not keep pace through and through with Fitchburg, allowing the Falcons to come back into their own zone and just put so many opportunities on the Finn in net.
I mean, just a few days ago, Brian McGrath, he faced 51 shots from Plymouth State. He was able to deny them all, but he's a senior who's had years of experience in facing lots and lots of shots. The Falcons are not a team that's, you know, a team that's going to hold aside to 25, 30 shots in a game. They do give up about 35 shots. It's always been like that since Brian McGrath's been here at Fitchburg State. He's got the endurance. Valtonen, his first year with Westfield State, he's got to build up that endurance as well.
That endurance of Brian McGrath will be put to the test. You mentioned, Tim, that Fitchburg State has a very tough schedule. They play 3 games in the next 7 days. This Tuesday, they're back here at the Civic Center taking on Framingham State, and then they travel to Worcester State and Plymouth State, playing Thursday and Saturday. 3 games in the next week for Fitchburg State. Their depth is going to be tested. The conditioning of their goaltender, Brian McGrath, is going to be tested. You look at the other side for Westfield. After this loss, they will travel to Salem State and play UMass Dartmouth, both in the next week. So both of these teams turning around very quickly, trying to get these games in.
It's going to be a tough stretch for sure. Fitchburg, they're about to go into the longest break of this stretch. You'll get 2 days. We'll have tomorrow, Sunday off. You'll then have Monday off. You'll take the time to really try to rest before facing off against this Framingham team on Tuesday. Fortunately enough for Fitchburg, you don't need to travel for that game as well. Not that Framingham's all too much of a drive, but even still, the fewer games you need to travel for in a stretch like this, the better. And I'm honestly wondering here, if you're Fitchburg State head coach Dean Fuller, and you understand that you are playing 6 games in 11 days, especially considering the fact that you're about to be facing off against Framingham, I'm wondering if he's not considering putting in Chris Matone in net on Tuesday to give McGrath some much needed rest, because it feels like across the past 2 games, I mean, you said it in the period, Daniel, that it felt like McGrath's rebound control was a little errant at times, and he did start the week with a big test, that 51 save shutout against Plymouth, and so I think a little extra rest from McGrath could perhaps really serve him well. And it's, especially considering the season Matone's had so far, he has won a MassCat Goalie of the Week award thanks to his efforts against, I believe it was Southern New Hampshire University, when he had 32 saves and a .941 save percentage against SNHU back on November 29th.
Matone has looked capable in goal, hasn't played since that game against New England College to close out the first semester, but that is definitely something to think about, is just the fact that it's a big ask if you're asking your star goalie to play that many games in that compressed period of time. That might be the game. Framingham is worst in the conference, although they were rather challenging. A 3-1 win Fitchburg was able to get against them on November the 13th. That was a challenging game for the Falcons. And Framingham's got a couple nice netminders, Trevor Sternberg and Blake Carlson, so they've been able to improve defensively to try to frustrate the Falcons offense. I also want to remind everyone that game against Framingham, 3:30 start here from the Civic Center. That will be on the Falcon Sports Network and FATV.
We look forward to that. We look forward to the next game that we will be covering, which is in just a little bit of time. It is Hockey Day in the Berg here on FATV. One more time, we want to thank our underwriters, Rollstone Bank and Trust, Workers Credit Union, Unitil, Minuteman Press, the Sentinel and Enterprise, Fitchburg State University, and of course UMass Memorial Health, Health Alliance, Clinton Hospital. You saw the names of the fantastic FATV crew. We thank them on behalf of Tim Foley and Daniel Bullock. I thank you all so much for being here for the first of 3 games of Hockey Day in the Berg right here on FATV.